is just being destroyed left, right and centre by the whole Australian media.
Now, the self-described YouTube star who heckled Nick Kyrgios during his match at the Australian Open.
The views were just skyrocketing. Next morning I wake up and I'm getting all these emails from like a current affair. The hate kind of started to get to me a lot because I wasn't seeing any positive feedback. It was all just negative. Maybe I went like a bit too far. I became very suicidal. I started to really enjoy tormenting my mum. I started to love it. Call her, "Mom, I'm gonna kill myself, you're gonna have no son." Ended up telling me he found a very strong demonic possession that was around me. I was screaming, "Get this thing out of me." I made a pact with my mum and I said, if I'm not healed by December, I'm killing myself.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the Life Pod. Today we have on influencer, content creator, Jamie Zhu. Bro, thank you very much for coming down all the way from Sydney. We appreciate you coming on, bro. It means a lot.
No worries. Nice to meet you guys.
You too, man.
Bro, it's amazing. Like, it's, again, we almost have this chat every time. It's like we're, not to like toot our own horn, but like we're connecting with people that we never even thought would have been possible a year ago. And now it's like, all these names are coming in. Like, we're building such a, and it's like, it's not just like, cool, we did a podcast and they left. It's like, it's a big community. We're friends. We're networking. We're planning events together. We're doing all these things. It's like, again, honestly, thank you so much. Like, just two random boys from Melbourne and, you know, almost 1 million followers on Instagram.
I know. We were saying it on the drive in, actually. We started a year ago and it's just been an absolute snowball effect. And, you know, we start off with certain people and then, you know, now we're sitting in a room with you in the Melbourne city. It's just crazy.
Guys, I'm nothing special, but thank you. Thanks for inflating my ego. But now look, I think podcasting is something where the future is definitely a prime time to obviously do this sort of content. So yeah, you guys have obviously done a great job and you guys have also gone in the right time. So congrats.
Yeah.
Thank you,
I
man.
think so. It's been a year now already.
So for the very small amount of people on this earth that don't know who you are, please inform them who you are, what you do, how it started, where Jamie Zhu came from, who you first started with, like back in the day, which state you're actually from, because a lot of people are confused at the moment.
The life of Jamie.
Yeah.
Oh, look, it's been a very crazy life, not gonna lie. But yeah, I mean, I'll go as far back as maybe high school. I was trying to be a professional soccer player for about 9 years, and ended up over in Serbia, England, having some trials over there. And then when I was living in
Serbia?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Serbia.
soccer goes off there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
big on it. Wow.
Yeah,
It's the first time I heard that. Usually people go to like the UK or they go to England. Is that the same thing? England, UK? The same thing?
Same thing.
Yeah,
Kind of.
Fuck. Geography's not it.
Almost.
Almost. Close enough.
Anyway, sorry.
No, you're right. Yeah, no. So I was going through like the rep ranks in Sydney in New South Wales, and then I got to a point where I was like, I need to go overseas. So I was trialing for a team in Serbia called FC Novi Sad, and I was there for about a month or so.
So you're proper.
I was proper.
If you're going to Europe to play soccer, you're proper.
Yeah, you made it.
I like to say I was. But yeah, I went there.
Guess your position too. You would have been a wing.
Yeah, I was actually. Yeah.
How the
nice
fuck?
one.
How does that make? How do you just look at someone like, oh yeah, you're a wing?
It's
Tall,
handsome. Exactly right. No.
Where did that kind of like, was soccer just like, cool, I like this as a kid, like playing at school? How did soccer come about?
It was really random actually because I used to play the game when I was very young, so in primary school, and up until Australia. How old are you guys?
24. I'm 22.
24.
Okay, so you would have been alive when Australia qualified for the World Cup.
You guys were alive.
Yeah.
in 2006.
Yep.
So remember how we qualified for the first time in 32 years. So I got really inspired by that. So before this, I was playing just like casually, just leisurely, Division 8, like just, kick the ball, well done, that sort of league. And then I just got so inspired that I got obsessed. And just like, I don't know, I get really obsessed with things if I get inspired by something. So I just went all in. I got, I in the space of about 6 months, I went from being able to juggle a ball 3 times to 1,000 or something.
Fuck.
Yeah.
How long did that take? How long does it take to sit there and juggle 1,000 times?
Not too long. I did 300 the other day, actually, for the first time in ages. But
How long,
under 10 minutes, around maybe 10 minutes, I would
holy
say.
shit, that's like
For 1,000.
Yeah, I would say it was about 10 minutes or so. But it's just the concentration and just like trying to not wig yourself out when you're so close. That's the hardest part. Like when you get to 900, you're just like,
How do you even count?
So Jamie
12,000?
Zhu, influencer, juggling, fucking
Juggling
Guinness
specialist.
World Record.
juggling specialist.
Holy, bro! I literally can't even juggle to 4, 5, 6
Yeah.
if you're on a good day.
It just takes practice, man. Like I was never born talented or anything. I just had to practice, and I just got so obsessed with it that I was like, I want to do this. So yeah, I got really good, and in a very short time, through only practice really, and just dedication and just belief, I got to I went from kind of like the lowest club level that you can possibly imagine, which is just like literally
In
just kick the
Sydney?
ball. In Sydney,
Yeah.
to the a few levels below A League. But when I started getting
Is
to
it
the higher
MPL in
teams-
Sydney? Sorry.
MPL, yeah,
Oh, yeah,
MPL,
cool.
yeah. So those like sort of leagues. But I really struggled mentally when I got to those levels because I wasn't used to the pressure.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, I kind of just worked my way up, and then ended up in Serbia, ended up in the UK, and
How old are you at this point?
in Serbia I was about 18. Then in the UK,
shit, started
I
from
was-
young. Wow.
Well, I started playing properly when I was about 13, 14.
Mm-hmm.
And then in that space, I kind of got to, I went overseas, so Serbia, UK. And then, it was weird. I kind of I was starting to get really good in the UK. And then I was starting to get some pretty crazy trials with some big teams.
Mm-hmm.
I tried for AFC Wimbledon.
Oh, wow.
And-
Yeah, they're massive.
Yeah.
I'm
and
a
then-
soccer fan, by the way.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
nice. All right,
so
so you
no.
guys know what I'm talking
I
about.
get you.
He knows.
He
what
does
you're
it.
he knows what you're talking about. I don't know.
You play what, netball or something? Or? Yeah, and you look like the sort of
Does he
netball
look
sort
like
of
a bloke that plays
guy. Yeah,
netball?
I can imagine you in the little skirt, throwing the ball in the net. It's cute.
But my dad would bash me if I did that.
So I had some trials, and then what was funny was the higher level I got to in the sport, the more I hated it. And so
Isn't that funny?
it's so weird, so ironic. And so I ended up just honestly, I had this trial where I was told that the coach of Brentford under 23s, which is in the EPL under 23s,
Yeah.
was interested in seeing how I played. So that was a huge opportunity. And I'll be honest with you, like I went to trial, not for Brentford, but for another team that this guy also managed in a lower league, because he wanted to see how I played in the lower league first. And bro, I just cracked under pressure. I hated it. And I had like the worst like trial and game of my life. And then I was
It's
like, you
the
know
movie
what?
Goal. Have you seen Goal?
I've seen Goal, yeah.
Was that
yeah.
you that day when
Pretty
the try
much.
for Newcastle United just flopping
Just
it?
flopped it, bro. Like I couldn't even pass a ball straight, honestly. And I kind of just realized like maybe there's something better for me, because I was trying for so long, and then decided to just even entertain the thought of doing something else for my life. And then within about a week or two, I was searching. I was like, all right, I was writing all these things down. Like, what am I good at? What have people said I'm good at? What do I enjoy doing? And at the same time as doing this, I was kind of like just watching YouTube, procrastinating. I had no idea what I was doing with my life. And my dad was saying, go back to uni. Actually, no, I didn't even tell my dad. That's right. But he
Jamie?
wanted me. Yeah, he wanted me to
Jamie?
to do the normal stuff.
See how fucks even that in itself. That's like a whole nother topic. It's like the normal stuff. It's
The
like,
normal stuff,
that
yeah.
should not be a thing.
Play the safe option, right?
Yeah.
But so I just came across YouTube, and then I was, oh man, I can't even describe the feeling when I saw these random guys that I didn't even know. I didn't even know YouTube was a thing at all. Just doing these funny videos in Australia. Just bro, like something lit up inside of me just to say, this is exactly what you have to do. I didn't know why or when or how or nothing, but all I knew was I had to come back to Australia and do videos where I publicly embarrassed myself and post them online. I don't know why.
But as a kid, were you always like charismatic and funny and like just doing silly shit as a kid, or like at family events? Like, did that have anything to do with it? Like, oh, like, he's like the clown of the family type stuff.
Yeah, I only discovered like this side of myself when I got drunk for the first time off one UDL when I was in year 9. So I was just like, I was off it. Like, I think it was half a UDL actually.
Jamie, there must have been something else in that UDL.
Come on, bro, it's literally
I
cordial.
must have got roofied or something, or
100%.
some MD. I don't know what it was, but just like from that moment, I was like, wow, I got this crazy side. All right, so I kind of like became the class clown. Literally from this moment in time, I don't know how it happened. And then I just became like the class clown, a bit of a bad cunt in school as well. So I was in like the second cool group, and then the cool group guys liked me because I was a bit edgy. And
Alternative.
alternative, yeah, no rainbow hair at this point, but alternative in my own way. And I guess I started making videos in 2014 to 2016 on YouTube, and I was just pumping it. I was going to uni at the same time, delivering pizzas for a living on Centrelink, working at childcare, like going to uni. just everything. And yeah, from those 2 years, 2014 to 2016, nothing happened really.
It's just cruisy.
Just cruisy, yeah. Didn't earn a single dollar.
What were the views like then?
Very, very minimal. Even though I was like literally one of like 3 in Australia doing this.
Yeah. So it's interesting because like you're an influencer to us, right? Because we've seen your content too. But you just said you were seeing other people's content on YouTube in Australia. Who were they then? Who's doing it then?
So I would say like when I started, I was second era. First era was like Janoskians.
100%.
You know, they started the whole thing. And I'll be honest with you, if it wasn't for them, I probably wouldn't have been doing this because they were my inspiration at the time.
Is it Wog Boy?
Superwog. Yeah,
Superwog
Superwog was around then. Yep.
Yep.
And then you had like, do you remember Adrian Van Ooyen?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
And Teddy was doing dumb videos.
Teddy was there. Yep.
And Paulie never really blew up, but he was from Melbourne. He used to just sit in his room and talk in like a Wog voice.
Do you guys remember, you know Ziz obviously, right?
Yeah.
Do you guys remember Jizz?
No?
No, there was a jizz. there was a jizz.
Bro, so there was this guy. This was before all this. This was like era zero.
Yeah.
And when Ziz came out and he was obviously popping in, social media wasn't even a thing, like Instagram and
It's like
Facebook.
when Google started.
Yeah, pretty much, bro, pretty much. This guy was like the skinniest cunt ever. Just like this white kid, full like skeletal, just imitating Ziz, but like it was so funny because he was the opposite of Ziz.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's just reminiscing on my childhood back then.
No, but I do remember jizz, yeah.
Yeah, Jiz was amazing. I don't know where he went. I think he might have.
Do you remember what your first skit was? Like your first video that you ever posted on YouTube, or do you remember what it was?
Yeah, it was really, really embarrassing. But I think I don't delete videos
That's the best thing.
because I see it as a progression. I never delete anything because I'm like I want people to see where I'm at now versus before. So it was literally a video of me dressed as like this random character with a hat, no shirt on at the beach, just placing a towel down and then doing this weird smile and then having sunscreen all over my face. It was very, very unique and very viral as well. So got about 2 views from my mum and my grandpa.
Yeah, wow. So that was your first one?
That was my first. Yeah, that was my first. But then I kind of, I got really inspired by the Janoskians and Adrian Van Ooyen. So I started doing the awkward situations. I kind of stole that off them, but did it myself.
I think that's what, like, that took you to another level, didn't it?
Well,
because that's what I think they were the first videos I saw of you was the awkward situation ones.
oh, you're an OG, bro. I respect
100%,
that.
man, 100%. You just used to like awkward noises and shit.
Yeah.
The tennis one was that did big. That did like obviously you were sort of big before that, but the tennis screaming, literally the entire crowd was like, "What the fuck is happening?"
I don't know why I did that, but I guess.
Did you get like a bad? Did you like cop a fine or anything like that? All the repercussions.
No, so what was happening during that time, right? It was like actually I'll go a little bit back.
We'll go back.
We'll
We'll
the
start back
progression.
and then progress. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll kind of start from where I was mentioning before. So I was one of probably 3 doing all the awkward situations videos, only YouTube at this point. So yeah, there was like no one else besides me and a few other guys in Australia. And I just started doing like these awkward situations videos. So Janoskians and all them did awkward train situations. And that sort of thing. But I did awkward library situations, awkward gym, awkward university.
I remember the videos.
Yeah, I didn't want to copy, but I did. It's called remixing. It's like a concept, right? So I was doing all that.
It's not fucking copyright, bro.
Yeah. It is actually. I got C's everywhere. And but yeah, so I was doing all that. Literally nothing happened. I thought I was making some banger content, but nothing was happening. And in the space of 2 years, I think I got like 9,000 subscribers and like $1 or something from social media. And at this point as well, I was being pumped by people around me saying, "You're a dumb cunt. Like, stop doing this. It's going to ruin your life. You're not going to be able to get a job one day." My mum was all right with it for some reason. But when I told my dad what I was doing, bro, he blew the fuck up. For 2 hours, I was on the phone to him, and the phone was like a meter away from my ear because he was just screaming at me the whole time. And he didn't understand. He lives in China as well, so that wasn't even a thing over there.
Still.
Yeah. And then I was seeing this girl as well, and she was discouraging me, and my mum and her would be like in my face directly talking shit about me, saying, "Don't do it, you're going to ruin yourself," all that sort of stuff. And so, basically I was doing that for 2 years, and nothing happened. And then it wasn't actually until, and I'll give credit to this person for this to open me up, but Jackson O'Doherty, he hit me up actually when I was overseas at this one time, and he said, "Hey man, I've seen some of your videos, we should collab sometime." I was like, "Cool."
So where was he at that level?
He was
Was he sort of mirroring you? Was he like, did he have more like following than you? Where was he sort of at with his journey?
So he was making videos for I don't know how long at this point, but he was kind of like he just started posting on Facebook. So when he hit me up, he was at 50K on Facebook.
Yeah, wow.
And he got 50K in a month. And he goes, bro, you should jump on as well. And I'll be honest with you, like, I'm never the sort of guy to quit or give up. But having gone 2 years and not much has happened, I was considering, like, what's going on.
Yeah.
I was never going to give up, but it went through my mind a few times. So when I saw Jackson hit 50K on Facebook in a month, I was like, wow, I'm going to try this out. And I made a very strong promise to myself. I said, look, if I'm going to actually do this properly, I have to be consistent. So I started just pumping out 3 videos a week, and the videos were very easy. I just went to a supermarket, literally 10 minutes, 4 sex noises, got reactions, bang, posted online. And my first, second, third video were hitting like 6 figures off the bat. So in a month, I got to 10K on Facebook, and then in 6 months, I got to 100K. Then under a year, I got to 1 million. But it was the right time to jump on, like the right time. I got the
timing plays, I reckon, a massive part.
Huge.
Things like that as well.
Yeah, man. So then after kind of like 100K to 1 mil, that was really interesting because I was earning a little bit of money and views were getting really good, and then I kind of just started doing a few brand deals, and then I was able to quit my job. Still very broke on like 1 million followers, but slowly started to get out of it, and kind of just
Ball was rolling.
Ball was rolling. Yeah.
If you don't mind opening up, a lot of people don't know what sort of income's like on social media. So you're saying, oh, it was pretty low. So if you don't mind telling me, what does that mean? Because some people think, oh, bro, I'm just going to jump on, YouTube and fucking get bank. It's like, it's not really that easy.
I know TikTok. So I saw a video of KSIs who posted on TikTok. He was
I saw that one.
Did you see that one?
Yeah.
And he was only making like, what was it? 3,000 or 30 grand? Oh, so there was a 3. I think it was 30 or.
He's lucky to be making money at all off TikTok, actually.
I know.
Because
so he's making fuck all on TikTok.
Yeah.
Who? KSI. Do you know KSI?
Fuck's that?
The guy that Logan Paul fought, not Floyd Mayweather, the guy that looks like him kind of, but a bit younger.
Do you know who Logan Paul is?
Yeah. I made a drink, it tastes like fucking Gatorade.
Yeah. Have you had it?
Bro, yeah. My gym style, bro, it's Gatorade. It's
Really?
it's like a $9 Gatorade.
Is it? $9?
USD as well?
Bro, what a fucking rort. He's rorting people, bro.
Yeah.
Have
I
you
think
tried
he
it?
is.
That's the power
I
of
haven't
social
tried
media,
it.
bro. Everyone's just giving this bloke his...
But
bro.
Arsenal's endorsing it now as well.
I
It's
know.
crazy, man. It's crazy. Like, once you get there, you're like, all right, I can
And like
do whatever.
taste-wise and like hydration-wise, it's literally a fucking Gatorade. With the same flavors, bro. It's orange, lime, and blue.
I'm not surprised. But yeah, like at that level, bro, you can do whatever you want.
Yeah, 100%.
You know what I mean? But so what was the question?
So like you said...
Revenue.
Yeah.
All right. So like times have changed, right? Everything changes once every couple months. So you have to obviously keep up to what the climate is, what's happening with the social media world and just keeping up to date with everything. So back then, we're talking like when I first started making money off social media, like 2017.
It's like $1 for view ratio, not an amount or anything like
Yeah.
that.
So when I started on Facebook wasn't monetized at all. YouTube was, but when I started to have some good growth on YouTube and Facebook at the same time, YouTube started demonetizing content.
Yeah.
And this was what we call the ad apocalypse, where what happened was, for those of the audience that don't know, a lot of look, I'm sure this was planned by the people at the top, but regardless, all these big companies noticed that their ads were being played before unbrand friendly videos. So I understand why. So say Telstra pay YouTube to display their ads before videos, and then YouTube's displaying Telstra's ads before like terrorist videos. Of course they're going to kick off, right? I get it. So this started a whole wave and a whole trend where everyone's like, hey, well, if Telstra is jumping out of the AdSense program because of this, well, I don't want to be a part of this either. So then brands started becoming a lot more reflective of who they were obviously signing up for and who they were being affiliated with. So this led to a whole series of demonetization. I remember waking up, I was living in LA at the time. I woke up one day and like 25 of my videos all demonetized out of nowhere. Some deleted as well. Out of nowhere.
Shit.
And so, so you could talk so for YouTube, revenue wasn't even like a consideration for me because I just had none because they kept demonetizing my stuff and I was quite edgy. However, Facebook on the other hand, still hadn't had monetization up until late 2018. So in that time frame, I was getting just random brand deals. I don't know if you guys remember some dodgy company called EduBirdie.
Edgy
Yes.
birdie.
Yes.
So I used to pump them, and this is a big regret of mine. I learned this the hard way. I did do some things where I sold out for money, and I highly regret that, and I've learned from it, and I advise others not to do the same thing. So Edgy Birdie was a company where they basically fraudulently did students' assignments for them if you just pay the money.
Yeah, that's what it was.
And bro, they had bank. There was some dodgy company from the Ukraine. They were hitting me
I
up
would have
through
paid.
But Ukraine has been fucking people since
100%. But they were hitting me up from like a random Gmail account. Like it was so dodgy, but they paid every time and beforehand as well. So that's how I actually literally, thanks to Edgy Birdie, I was able to quit my pizza delivering job.
Thanks, Ukraine.
Thanks, Ukraine. But then, obviously,
this guy's supporting World War III and shit.
bro, one of my editors for TikTok is from the Ukraine, this 17-year-old kid. And every second day he goes, "Hey bro, sorry the internet's cut out. Russia's just dropped the bomb on us. I've got to escape for a bit, come back."
Uncivilized.
That's fucked up, bro. Imagine trying to outsource, so you can save money, scale your business. But it's like Allahu Akbar, and just
Literally, bro. Literally, like he tells me like every couple of days, like there's a power outage.
Boy, do I hope he still replies to you.
Yeah, he did 5 minutes ago, so he's
Thank
still alive.
God. Thank the God.
Thank God. Thank
Ma,
God.
we made it.
Yeah. But
That's crazy.
so yeah, look, back then I was getting like a few grand, I would say, for like a Facebook video.
And were they paying is it like a weekly thing? Is it a monthly? Is it per video?
So like obviously, and this is still the same in freelance work, like the golden opportunity is consistent and regular income, right? As we all need. So back then it was quite hard to get that, but when you did, you were like, all right, cool, like this is good. So Edgy Birdie were giving me regular income at the time.
So it's almost like more rather than the actual social media platforms, it's the brand and the brandings that sort of associate with you, and then
So the ads that we would be playing for the brand, depending on their level, dictated the income.
Yeah, correct. And obviously, bro, like I was doing some edgy content back then as well. So it wasn't like, like Toy Story was going to hit me up for a deal when I was making sex noise in supermarkets.
You wouldn't have the Make-A-Wish Foundation.
I don't think I would have.
Beyond
back
Blue
then.
and shit.
Nah, definitely not Beyond Blue. I was probably contributing to that, if anything. But no.
All right, guys, we're going to wrap up.
No, honestly, all the stuff I was doing was very innocent. But obviously, some people used to get a little bit.
You're always going to get that, bro.
What went through your head? Like I'm
know.
not saying you're a fuckhead, but
I love it. Like we love it.
I
How do you
love it.
think
It's
of this
funny.
shit, bro?
I don't know. I had a very strange brain back then.
like literally just going in front of thousands, even in a supermarket, like, and just screaming.
I say this a lot. I think it was because of like partially to do with my teenage years where I was so regimented during soccer, so I couldn't actually just like have fun.
Couldn't just be yourself.
Okay, yeah. So
Yeah, it was like
Being yourself is so important. Just being true to yourself, who you are, your values, your morals.
yeah. I was just like a child, like a child stuck in an adult's body. I think because I hadn't done all that.
Just going through in soccer, you would have just get up, train, eat, do the train, like just in like a motion, almost like a army type thing. Just everything's the same in and day out.
That's right. Yeah, it was very it was very structured, very disciplined. So I think that could have been partially it. But bro, honestly, like this was like a supernatural gift, if you want to call it that. Like the fact that I could go into crowded places and just do all this stuff, I don't know where it came from, honestly.
Confidence.
Any repercussions going through your head? Like, oh yeah, this could happen?
Yes and no. Like I just trusted it so strongly. Like I just knew I was going to be protected for whatever reason. And I just knew that I needed to do this. So that didn't really go through my head. I kind of knew where the line was, but I didn't at the same time. So it was like,
do you ever felt like you crossed the line?
yeah. The one thing I hated was my intention from day one was never to make people upset. It was more so to embarrass myself and make them like react awkwardly and laugh at me. I never did things that were predicated upon people being mad or upsetting others. It was more like, hey, I'm the joke. You laugh at me if you want. I'm just doing something funny. So when I saw people that actually got upset, that was when I felt really bad. And I was like, I started to question, okay, this was probably a bit too far. And that's when I sort of learnt the boundaries.
Yeah.
And I'd always say sorry, and I felt really bad. So I always had a moral compass, but sometimes I didn't know where that line was,
So if we go back to the tennis one, because that's still floating around. I still see it pop up like randomly. It's like, again, so you paid as a normal person, as a patron, you bought your ticket, enjoying the tennis game. And like, was that planned the whole way through? Like, I'm going to do this? Or you just fuck this, bro. This is a shit game. I'm just going to ruin it.
Yeah, so this was like 2018, I believe, or 2017. And during this time, it was kind of like still only a few people in Australia doing what I was doing. So you had like me, Jackson, Shami, all them. And it was kind of like we were all mates, but it was like this healthy competition as well. That if one guy was going viral, then it kind of like made me step up as well. So during this time, this was when like the silly salmon was going viral and like all these trends. And I'll be honest, like seeing all my mates sort of like have videos that were popping made me want to do something as well. And so it pushed me further. So I remember this so clearly. I was actually living in Melbourne. I was sitting in my car in Brunswick. I don't know why I was there. Nothing sus. And
It's all hippies.
all hippies, yeah. I think I was one of them back then. That's why I was so cooked. And and so I was sitting in my car. I remember this so vividly. And I was on the phone to my mum. And my mum was very supportive throughout pretty much.
Sorry to cut you up. I just love how from day dot you've been like super tight with your mum. Like that's just gangster.
Yeah, 100%. She's an amazing woman.
Shout out, mum.
Yeah, 100%. And think of it from my mum's perspective, like her seeing her son do all this crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Still supporting me, right? So I was on the phone to her and I said, Mum, like, everyone else is going viral, but I'm kind of like stagnant. And she's always been like a very like spiritual person. She goes, trust the process, you'll be fine, just put it out there. I was like, okay, cool. Literally got home that night and I was going through my Facebook messages. And I'll be honest, I don't really go through Facebook because you get some weirdos there. Instagram for sure, everything else for sure, but Facebook, yeah. But one day, that night, I was just going through my Facebook messages and this one kid, he goes, hey bro, he goes, you wouldn't, that was already a dangerous start. You wouldn't go to the next Nick Kyrgios Australian Open match and make a massive sex noise. And I was like, that's my wish that was just granted by above.
Holy shit.
I was like,
It's
this
like
is a
that
sign
message
from
could have
God.
came at any day.
Literally.
And by the
That
sounds
night.
of it, you never used to go on Facebook. So that night you went on it, you heard your mum, and then you're like, oh,
That's
fuck,
right.
there
That's
it is.
right. It was just like divine timing, if you want to call it that, right? And so I was like, perfect. This is like my way to
Say less.
say less. And so I actually replied to him saying, done. And I don't think he thought I was actually going to do it. So
Do you remember the kid's name by any chance?
I got a screenshot. We can do a shout out at the end of this episode.
Lucky
Yeah,
guy.
but
shout him
yeah,
out.
100%. So I literally, I booked, I went onto the website, Australian Open, and I wanted to make sure that I was behind the server. So, I had the right angle and everything.
There it is.
What's that? That's probably my
So this is Jamie's alarm. So he has to post on social media. So we're just going to
Yeah, so
kick back for a sec.
post TikTok. That's every day. So
Is that at certain times? Does it change each day?
So is
How
it-
does that
I just
work?
do 9 o'clock every single day.
Nine
Because I've been
9
trying to
o'clock.
post every day. So it goes
So 9
off.
o'clock. So like we've been thinking 9 o'clock's probably late, but it's like maybe, people stay up on their phones. Maybe
Yeah.
9 o'clock's good.
It's because I have like a more international audience. So if I only had Australia,
It's
I'd
the
probably
sweet
do
spot.
like, yeah. So it's like in between everything.
What would you do in Australia if you was an Australian audience?
Tell us, how do we get famous, bro?
I reckon 6 or 7.
6 or 7?
Okay, so
Yeah,
spot
6 or 7. Yeah. So I just got distracted by this girl in a bikini. All right.
You
So
posted
Post
it?
it?
no. I already did it before.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Cool.
Thinking ahead. I don't know if I snoozed it or I stopped it. Anyway, if we hear it go off again, just gab it to it or something. Went to knockout the other week. First festival.
How was
Oh,
that,
but-
Sydney?
Looking
bro, like,
shredded.
Thank
Yeah,
you. Yeah,
bad.
thank you. Wait, I'm looking shredded?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. So are you, bro. So are you. But, bro, Lebanese food, though.
Can we go after?
I'm so down.
I'm starving, bro.
I'm starving as
Oh,
well.
we're going to get
Thank
some
fuck.
Lebanese food.
Oh,
Let's do it. I'm
done,
actually down
done,
100%.
done.
No, same.
We're in
Sick.
South Bank, so I don't know if there's Lebo food around here.
We'll find something.
We'll go to Sydney for a night. Just have a
Yellow,
nice
come
feed.
back quick.
Yeah, done. A few shisha, blah, blah, blah. Oh, bro, I'm very Lebo at heart, honestly.
You live in Sydney.
That's
I mean, you've been delayed at the airport for like 15 hours. Are you sure you can be bothered?
I'm down. I'm 100%
done.
down.
So you said done. This guy sent the message. You wanted to be behind the server.
Yeah.
Continue.
Okay, so I was looking for tickets at that exact spot, right? And it just so happened to be there. There were 2 tickets left for that exact spot that I wanted. And I wanted to obviously have my videographer with me. So I booked 2 tickets. I was like, this is perfect. Like everything just lined up perfectly, right? And so I was
It's like
all
your
right,
calling,
done.
bro. It was just
It was
like
my calling, honestly. And I didn't know like much about tennis or Nick Kyrgios, and he didn't know who I was, I don't think, at the time. So yeah, I literally just woke up next day and I said, all right, I'm doing this. And I was actually rehearsing in the shower. Like the
just sex
exact
noises.
Yeah. So because
At
the
home?
thing at home, yeah.
That's really uncivilized, bro.
That's
That's really
fucking
uncivilized, bro.
Very uncivilized. I was living by myself, luckily though. So
okay, that's
no one
right,
no one
then.
heard. But the thing was like because
I'm just picturing someone walking past.
Were you living in an apartment block like this?
in an apartment, yeah. Apartment.
Oh, that's
Some old lady's like taking out her rubbish.
Hey, it might have got it going again after all those years, so you never know. I could have helped her out somehow on the way to the
fucking
chemist
hell.
to buy some goat weed or whatever it's called. And she just hears me and she's like, I'm cured.
Bro, go weed.
I'm a nice man, I'm a community-based guy. So Anyway, so I'm in the shower just like, doing my thing. I wasn't doing anything while I was doing the noises, just so we're clear. And the thing is in comedy.
That's not what I envisioned, but yeah, continue.
Don't know what you're envisioning, bro. But that's for OnlyFans, right? But see, the thing about comedy is, and I've obviously like messed up loads in this way, but there's a very, very fine line between being funny and being cringe.
Yeah,
So
that's
if
very
you-
correct.
If you even go for like too long or too short, or like if the tempo or like the tonality is wrong, or the way you deliver is wrong, then it's just a disaster. So there's a fine line. So I want to make sure that at least if I was to do this noise, it would be funny to the point where people actually laughed without cringing too hard, So I wanted to kind of go balls deep in a sense where even if people were hearing the noise and they were cringing, the fact that I was doing it for so long made them think another thought, which was, wow, this guy has balls. I've forgotten how cringy it was already, but this is funny because of how crazy this is, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I didn't just do a little noise. I did like a whole series of noises that lasted like a minute. So I rehearsed this in the shower. I was like, all right, this is the noise. This is the sequence, the tempo, the frequency, the volume, a bit of vibrato in there, And so
This guy's got an orchestra down there at the bottom.
I've got stems everywhere. I've got like a whole spreadsheet like I do on the piano and everything.
Were you nervous?
So yeah, interestingly enough, dude, I was like, I don't know why I could just do anything.
Yeah, wow.
I would just go into lecture theaters 3 times a week and just embarrass myself. I just loved it. I don't know why. It was weird, and like now I kind of see it as I don't know. I think it was a blessing, if you want to call it that. Honestly, I don't know how I did it, but I was able to. So yeah, I went to the game, and like I was nervous, but luckily for me as well, that particular day I had quite like a brain fog.
Yeah, I know brain fog.
So I had like brain fog for some reason.
Yeah, when you can't think straight.
Yeah, so I wasn't even like there.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, this is gonna be easy.
Yeah.
And so when I was there, I was like, all right, so like I'm gonna make sure I do it at the right time. So I wanted the game to settle in a little bit. So I wanted to do it in like the third quarter. I didn't want to do it straight away or too late. So I kind of waited for the perfect moment, and I even told my friends, hey, make sure you're watching this game on TV. I'm going to do something. They're all like, yeah, bullshit, you're not going to do anything. And so I kind of waited for the perfect moment, and I don't know, it just something was like, all right, now. So, all right, cool. And bro, like it's either 0 or 100. You cannot 50 this one.
No, you can't.
You cannot half send it. So I was like, all right, I'm going to do this completely, because if I half send it, it'll be so cringe.
Yeah.
Even though it was cringe, but you know what I'm trying to say.
I think that's with anything. You have to like commit to like
You gotta
doing a
commit.
skit.
You got to commit 100%. No doubt in your mind. So I stood up, and I didn't even know if like, because I wanted to make sure that Nick was serving. Like he was bouncing the ball about to serve. What if like the second was off and he was serving, then everyone's like focused on the game that's being played and no one even looks at me. You know what I mean? Like just like little increments there that I was hoping that would, manifest in the right way. So yeah, I just full sent it. I pressed record on my phone. I was hoping that I pressed record.
Oh, could you imagine?
I actually wasn't sure if I did.
Oh, fucking hell.
And I just got up, and then, dude, it was just like perfectly timed. And then, I don't know, as I was doing it, it was just like work. It was like,
Yeah,
this is step 1, step 2, step 3, and I'm out. So just did it. I kind of just thought nothing of it. I got booed. Some guy tried to steal my phone. Some guy tried to hit me. Everyone's like saying I'm a flop, which I was 100%. And then I just kind of got up and left. And as I was walking up the stairs, no one was like even coming downstairs to escort me out. It was like no one cared, but they did. But no Seki was coming down to escort me out. So there was a guy up on the top level, and I had to go up to him and say, hey, bro, can you escort me out so the content looks like you're kicking me out? Because no one did shit.
Oh,
No one did anything. So imagine
fuck,
like,
so you actually got up on your own because like, oh, fuck,
did.
I gotta go.
oh,
So-
bro, there's no chance in hell I was staying there after that.
Yeah, 100%. I wouldn't have either.
Absolutely not.
Fucking hell.
Did he react?
No,
Have you spoken to him since ever?
no.
Okay.
So like this guy didn't care, bro, honestly. And he probably enjoyed it himself.
So fuck, I got a break. I'm fucking tired, man.
However, when I did go through the doors of the indoor section of the stadium, I was met by this very furious official. So he came sprinting down from his office. And as I was with the blue guy just kind of like handed me over. And this guy goes, you
Come
don't
in
know
here, you fuckwit.
literally, yeah. He's like, you don't know what you've done. You've ruined the entire match. And he had this like Australian Open lanyard on. So he was obviously very official, And he goes, come with me. And so what I was doing as well, when I was walking up the stairs, was I sent the video to 5 people. because I was scared and I was just being cautious if they confiscated my phone.
Yes. Very smart.
So I sent it to 5 people. So I was like, I'm sweet. And it did record.
Fuck, you thought all avenues, mate.
Fuck,
Yeah.
honestly, that's smart, man. Straight out.
And so, yeah, the guy was like very furious. But I was I had my phone on in my hand, very tight. And then we go up this lift and he's like, you don't know what you've done. And he escorts me out like the Richmond end of the stadium towards a train station. And he goes, I'm officially banning you from this match. And if I ever see you here again, I'm banning you from the whole tournament. And I'm thinking like,
Is that it?
that's it?
Yeah,
Why don't you just ban me from the whole tournament for life right now?
Yeah.
Bro, there was a helicopter circling as well because there was so much disruption that they thought it was like some terrorist attack. Yeah, it was so red hot. And then he just let me go. And so when I was walking out, I did like a bit of a Snapchat, like a sarcastic one. Oh, hey guys, you might have seen me on the television. I just did something, and yeah, I think this was the greatest moment of my life. Bang! 2 minutes later, some bitch from the Today Show's onto me on Twitter. Tennis prankster, idiot, fool says this stunt was the best thing he's ever done in his life, and I just got destroyed, bro, like the left, right, and
Hey, any publicity is good publicity.
Well, looking back, yes, but at the time, I was like, oh, I've actually done something bad. And so then I started to, I walked to the train station, and everyone's like, because they just saw me on TV, and like, hey, you're the guy that just did the thing. I was like, yeah. And dude, I got really embarrassed. I was like, shit. And then I got home, and like, I was on every single news channel.
Fuck.
Every single one.
How was that? Have you ever experienced anything like that before?
I have.
You would have, but what was the first time where you saw yourself on the news and you saw, it getting to that extent?
It was when I did a video when I was pretending to watch porn in a lecture theatre. And this was
I remember that one too.
2015, I think. But this went mainstream media viral, but it didn't correlate to any audience growth. So it was like a quick it was similar. It was very viral. So I had experienced it before and I sort of knew what I was in for. But this one was a whole different level. And the fact was as well, like I was just being destroyed left, right, and center by the whole Australian media. So yeah, and I got home and then I was like, all right, well, it's going viral, which is good. I posted on my own Facebook page and everything, and the views were just skyrocketing. Next morning I wake up and I'm getting all these emails from like A Current Affair, Channel 9 News, Channel 7
Tracy
News.
Grimshaw.
Tracy Grimshaw.
Fuck her.
Hit me up. Yeah, she goes, she wanted me to do an interview. Then obviously 2 a.m. booty call. No, I'm joking. And
She would have loved it.
yeah, she would have loved it.
Fuck your dad.
I fucking hate news voices. I was watching a video today with
Tonight on
Yeah,
Channel
yeah, yeah.
9.
so fucking
It's like, you don't speak like, who speaks like
It's
that?
very fake.
Yeah.
It's very fake. And look, I said yes to like pretty much all of them.
Mm.
And but the hate kind of started to get to me a lot because I wasn't seeing any positive feedback. It was all just negative. And I was like, oh, you know what? Maybe I went like a bit too far. And as I said before, the thing that always gets me is if I feel like I've done something to like hurt someone else. So all the articles were about how I ruined Nick Kyrgios's match. He's a professional player. He's worth his whole life for this game. And I've just come in and just like made some noise and ruined everything. So I felt really bad about that. But luckily he did win the match. So imagine if he didn't. So next day I just said like yes to all these interviews. And then I actually ended up messaging Nick myself on Facebook. I said, hey bro, like I'm actually sorry about what I did. I meant for it to be like a harmless joke and I hope like you're all good. And then, yeah, no reply. Then obviously I did my interviews and everything. And, it's hard when you're in the public eye in terms of how you present yourself because you've got to back yourself, but you also want to show that you do have morality.
Yeah.
So if you come out and you say, hey, I'm really sorry I messed up, then that kind of discredits you to an extent.
Yeah, it does, yeah.
But then if you're too cocky, then it goes the other way. So remember Corey Worthington?
Yeah, he fucked it hard.
He fucked it, but then it was like, I looked at him, I was like, well, all the boys still respect him because he's like a funny cunt. And he didn't actually like...
He didn't break.
He didn't break, right? Yeah. So I said to myself, all right, look, am I sorry? Not really. So I was like, I'm not going to be sorry. Like, why would I be? They're trying to make me... The moment I say sorry, because I've succumbed to what they're
You're
trying
now
to
proven
portray me as,
guilty.
then I'm proving guilty. Then I've actually done something wrong. But if I haven't done anything wrong and I don't say sorry, then I haven't done anything wrong, which I really hadn't.
Innocent until proven guilty.
Correct. So I was in that mindset. Also, I had seen my other mate being exposed by A Current Affair before, so I knew exactly what was going on. So the way I answered the questions was strategic, but also truthful. Anyway, so long story short, that all happened. And then, dude, it's so funny. A couple of days after this, I got a reply from Nick. He goes, all good, bro. Like, no stress. Like, it was all good. Then a month later, I noticed that the Instagram video I posted of the tennis prank, he liked it.
Oh, wow. Fucking hell.
So I was like, all right, if that's not a plot twist, I don't know what is.
That is a
And
big
yeah,
plot
it kind of
twist.
just, look, it stayed around, man. Like a lot of people that still, say hi to me in the street always mention that. So
The tennis video.
yeah, I'll be telling my grandkids one day, I don't regret it at all, but I wouldn't do it again.
What was the skit, or when was there a turning point? Obviously, like throughout these years, you've been growing social media, your followers, but now you're at like a really big number. You're certified, everything. It's like, when was there like a turning point where we went from like, let's just say like 100K and like just rapidly 300, 400? Like, was there like a big turning point?
I think we should touch on fame as well.
And like dealing with that, because people just want to leech
Sure.
old
Yeah,
friends from high school. Hey, bro, do you remember me? Can we do this? Like, no.
yeah, 100%.
And you
100%.
also mentioned that you were in LA for a while. How was that?
Yeah, man, that was good and it was bad.
Because I've heard like LA's full on.
It was full on. Yeah, it was full on. Which one do you want me to answer first?
So yeah. Sorry.
Shut the fuck up, man.
Fuck up, man.
No, I want to answer everything, but
Yep.
you guys tell me what order.
I asked first.
All right,
We'll
so
start with
you're-
Karim's. We'll start with Karim's.
No, all good, no stress. Yeah, there were many turning points actually. So I remember the first time anything really happened was when I had reached about 60K on Facebook, I believe. And during this time, like I didn't care about this sort of stuff, man, honestly. But no one really like approached me in public. Like I was just like a normal guy, whatever. Like that was fine, But I remember posting this one video where it was a video called "When You Can't Afford University Textbooks," and it was just simply me going around like stealing people's textbooks. And it got like, I'd say 200,000 views overnight or something. And back then that was quite
huge,
big,
yeah.
and the comments were, a lot of engagement. And I remember so clearly, before I post this video, I was a normal regular dude, still am to this day, but like no one sort of saw me in the street and came up to me and said hi. Post this video, the next weekend I went out, like 15 people wanted photos with me. It was nuts.
Fuck.
I was like, what on earth is going on? And it was just crazy. Like my life just changed like overnight. And then from this sort of point, it just got, obviously more and more and more as my followers grew, as the views went up. And it just became a way of living where I had to completely change my mental framework in terms of how I acted in public, how I spoke to people. Because the problem with having some sort of like fame or notoriety and people knowing who you are without you knowing who they are, is that they automatically have this assumption that you're arrogant. And you almost have to constantly go about your day disproving this assumption. So when people would meet me, like they'd be like, oh, you're actually so nice. I'm like, well, yeah, I'm nice in general. And I don't think I put on like an arrogant persona on my content either.
No,
but
I
they
never
just
got arrogant.
Yeah, but they just assume it because I have some sort of like following, which is just dumb to think, right? So I just remember like, yeah, from that kind of night I went out, I was like, wow, like this is getting like real now. Because think about it this way, it's like I was just some random kid posting videos on the internet, just making like funny noises in grocery stores. All of a sudden, like my whole life has changed. Like my physical reality has changed. Now, like people that I don't even know, like know things about me. Like it was very strange at first. And then, yeah, it kind of got to the point over the years where, and some people can't handle it, but some people can. And I definitely could, because I think that you have to be very mentally strong and tough. You can't be fragile. And you have to have a strong sense of purpose and self-worth as well, because comments that come from random people you don't know can really affect you. And so as I guess more and more people started to know me, this kind of transcended into a global audience as well, where I'd go overseas, and especially Southeast Asia, where, dude, it was to another level, man. Like it was crazy. And I don't say this from a place of vanity. I say this is from a place of curiosity, I guess, and the lessons I've learned along the way of being put in this position. So, when I was experiencing all this, I think one of you guys just said like friends from school and all that. When I first started making videos, all my friends from my high school, they have a group chat, right, without me in it. And one of my best mates, he was like a good friend to me. So he used to send me screenshots of what all the boys were saying about me. It was like horrendous. Like it was bad stuff. Like they were fully like putting it on me. And
As they do.
yeah, as they do. Like I didn't really care to the point where I quit, obviously, but it did affect me to a degree, because these are guys I actually know.
It's like it's always in like the back of your head.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
like why? It's like, and it's always the way. You'll never get, criticized by someone doing better than you. It's like,
Correct.
it's like, even if you get a new job or you try doing something in any industry, it's like, oh, like, you're not going to make it as a real estate agent. Like, oh, you're not going to make it, but like, you're just some guy from the area. Like, you're not going to make crazy videos.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
Like, you're not going to make a podcast.
Exactly. Yeah. Even for you guys, 100%. And, you know, it's something where it's funny to see, people change, because a couple of years later, I was at a school reunion and they're just completely different. Instead of like bagging me out all the time and giving it to me online, they're like, oh, hey man, like, hey, you know what? Like, you've done really good, and like all that sort of
Shut
stuff.
the fuck up, man.
I see it. And even one guy admitted, he's like, hey bro, I'll be honest with you. Like, I didn't support you at the start. I thought you were a flop, but like, props, you proved me wrong. I was like, fair enough to say that, you know, like, but I don't really know. Like, it didn't really bother me. I didn't really think anything of it. I was like, people are people.
It's almost like human nature that human nature to just always go negative. It's never like, you know, fuck, good on Jamie, man.
That's
fuck,
right.
What a mad cunt. It's like, dickhead.
We're programmed as well like that. So it's kind of not our fault.
Yeah.
And you have to reprogram yourself to be positive and actually enjoy seeing people succeed. So yeah. And I think for me, like along the journey, it got from like, it went from kind of like a few people like, hey Jamie, how are you? Like your videos, a couple of photos, to like being proper mobbed. Like I would be, say going to like a bar or like a nightclub. And this was where like it got really hectic. And I'd be like, I'd be circled with all these people just like filming me.
Fuck.
And I had to, I got to a point where I had to sit my mates down and say, hey, listen, if this happens again, you got to pull me out, because I don't want to seem like I'm trying to run away from the people that got me to this place anyway. So I wanted to make sure that, you know, people understood I respected them, but also I had my boundaries to the point where I can't just be like a zoo animal in a circle, just being like treated like,
I want to live
like,
my life.
like I'm a puppet, you know
I
what I
want
mean?
to live my life.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when I was in those situations, the other thing that was hard for me was I don't want people to think that I'm like wanting attention as well.
Yeah.
So I've read comments and some people like, oh yeah, hey bro, I saw you at the club the other week and you were just looking around like waiting to get recognized. Like that's just, so it's like a double-edged sword. It's really hard on both ends.
What the fuck? To go out of your way to message someone that is like the lowest thing.
But there's so much to go into it. It's like on one end, I don't want to be arrogant. The other end, I don't want to be too friendly to the point where
You can never please everyone.
That I'm trying to get noticed. Like it's really like a mind boggle.
What's it like now? So I'm assuming you, as we saw, you run your own Instagram.
Mm.
What's it like having that many followers? Like, what's your day? Like, what's it like having your Instagram with that many people on it? Is it just like fuck? Is it just like always notifications like comment, DM? Like, what's it?
I'm glad you brought this up because something like people don't really understand how social media works. So it's funny because I was watching a video last night that these guys posted of me from a previous podcast I did, where I was talking about the stuff I just talked about with you guys. And a lot of the comments from the TikTok audience were like, oh, who is this guy? I never heard of him. He thinks he's all this and that. And it was interesting because people don't really understand how social media has evolved. So think about it this way, and this kind of answers your question as well. So back in these days, you could say like my where my videos going the most viral and where the audience was going the fastest was probably between 2018 and 2019, I'd say. So yes, to answer your question, I was getting, you know, a lot of messages, a lot of notifications, and my page, you know, if we're talking Instagram, was definitely, you know, getting up there a lot. However, you need to realize that like back then or even before that, the average consumer was following 100 people, right?
Yeah.
Fast forward to 2022, the average person's following 3,000 people.
Yeah.
So that directly correlates to the fact that there's more competition out there and your stuff's not going to be seen as much anymore.
That's so true.
Because there's so many others that they're now following. So right now, because my content hasn't been as viral or anything over the last 1 to 2 years, yeah, I don't get that many like messages. I can keep up with them. I can read them all and stuff. And I quite like it actually because I'm not missing out on things that I actually want to, you know, read up upon. But look, man, like the social media climate's changed a lot. You know, just because someone has followers doesn't mean that all the standard stereotypical things that you would think they're experiencing happened in this day and age. And it's changed a lot. And I love when people say, "Oh, he's bought followers." You actually don't know. You cannot tell. And people assume that because say, I don't know, some guy with like 5 million followers gets like 10,000 likes on his photo. And they just assume that. But it's all relative to how many people everyone follows now. Like it's just changed so much. So I think the TikTok generation has copped it the hardest because it's so different now, man. Like every Tom, Dick and Harry has a TikTok account. It's like, how do you stand out? How do you get above the rest? Not that you have to be above, but You know what I'm trying to say?
How
Like,
do you stand out? Yeah.
Yeah, how do you have your fair share of the marketplace without all these other people also having their fair share? So
One of the really important things we wanted to touch on a more sort of serious note is you touched on before you had a life-changing experience that shifted your mindset on everything. You said like something about being possessed and all this stuff. So like, we'd love to know about that. Like,
yeah, for sure.
As he.
Oh, I gotta prepare this one. Nah, look, this is like a 3-hour story, not gonna lie. And I haven't revealed the full story to many people. Only probably like under 10 people, I'd say.
Yep.
Because of how crazy and incomprehensible
it almost
that's
sounds
a word,
fake.
that's the wrong incomprehensible.
Yep.
The right word. Yeah, it sounds fake, literally. And when I even say it, man, like I can't even believe I experienced all this firsthand. But yeah, look, long story short, I basically was atheist my whole life. And during the time I was dabbling in a lot of like new age spirituality. So I was doing stuff with crystals. I was doing like breath work and stuff like
I thought
that.
you were going to say crystal meth. I was like, cool, that's...
That as well. But you know what I'm trying to say, like energy and all that sort of stuff. And I did this because I wanted to be the best human being I possibly could be. And I wanted to obviously like, you know, what's it called? Like relive trauma and go through it and
Yep.
and, you know, get past that all. And also I wanted to, you know, free myself from any blockages that I had and all that sort of stuff. Like very good intentions.
Energetically.
Spiritually, right?
Yep.
Yeah. And so, funnily enough, as I was doing these things my whole life, I was the most spiritual out of anyone I knew, but I was also the most messed up in the sense that like I had the worst, you know, depression or anxiety out of anyone else. So I had just all these random weird things that would happen that made no sense.
To touch on that, what brought on, if you don't mind opening up about it, what brought on your depression? Like, was it just like, cool, like I didn't make it in soccer, I'm upset about that? Was it childhood trauma?
I think it was you see, like, I guess as human beings, as we stand here today, we are basically a sponge of all our past life experiences.
Trauma.
So, trauma and whatever, you know, whatever comes with it. So in my case, you know, as many people have had, we've all had trauma, we've all had hardships, we've all had that sort of stuff. But I think for me, it was kind of weird because I worked on myself so much through all that, you know, trauma-based therapy and all these healing modalities that I was doing, where I knew what happened in my past and I was able to release it and all that sort of stuff. But I was still just so off all the time. I had no idea why. And so this kind of led me further and further to like trying to find the answer. And, you know, I just never felt like I could be myself or I was free or that I was able to, you know, truly just express myself in that sense. And something was always holding me back, right? So that's why I constantly did all this stuff. And look, at the same time, no one was telling me that the lifestyle I was living was probably contributing to a decline in these areas. Like I was, like I've been very open about this. Like I had a massive like sex addiction, and you know, obviously all the other ailments that come with being in the public eye, you know, very bad anxiety, depression, OCD, all that sort of stuff.
Sex alone in the sense of like the porn and porn industry,
It's fucked.
alone
Yeah.
has such a fucking negative impact on
Well-being, just well-being as a
well-being.
human and on males
Mm.
and testosterone levels and semen, but
it's so
100%,
good.
100%.
It's so good to actually see like figures like say Jordan Peterson coming out now and you know, him
big figures.
Yeah.
telling people
Stop fucking watching porn.
This is what
100%, bro.
happens.
It's so detrimental. And this goes back to like the fame aspect as well, because the reason I even had this addiction in the first place was because I was told by people that were in my industry that were doing well, doing better than me, that, hey, if you have some sort of money and fame, you should be sleeping around with like any girl you can possibly sleep with. And it's all a numbers game. And, you know, try this drug and go to this party and be seen with these people and like all the superficial means of social media. So I was fully succumbed by that. Immersed in it. And I believed it all. And so I thought that my success was predicated upon how many girls I could sleep with, how many followers I had, how many people asked me for photos every day in the street, like just dumb stuff like that.
Or vanity shit.
Vanity, right? So I was not only like doing all this stuff, but I was also doing all this new agey stuff, which now I know was partially related to all these issues. So I guess back to your question, I was always trying to like, you know, fix myself and heal myself and stuff. And basically I'll try say this as simply and as short as possible, but I went to someone called a Reiki healer. And what they do is they basically just wave their hands around your body. They connect to spirits and they open up your energy centers, right? And so I went to this
Was this in
woman
Melbourne or Sydney?
in Melbourne. This was
Of course, it was in Melbourne. Makes
Yeah.
us look like fuckwits.
yeah, pretty much. That's why I don't live here anymore.
Do you regret that experience?
Oh, bro. Phew. Like, okay.
Because I've actually heard some good stuff from Reiki.
I'll put it contextually, right?
Yeah.
So, biggest, worst mistake of my entire life, but also the best lesson I've ever learned
Wow.
in my entire life.
Fuck.
So we'll go both ends, right? So the reason it was the worst experience that I've ever had in my entire life was because I got literally possessed. Like,
And that
demonically
normally doesn't
possessed. Never. And I'll tell you what happened. So, and then I'll tell you why it was actually one of the best things that happened to me. The reason why I was so bad was because all she did, right, she waved her hands on my body. That's all she did. She didn't even touch me, really. And all of a sudden, I left that place and I felt like a different person. And to put it simply, without going into too much depth, I categorize what happened to me in 3 areas. So she opened up the chakras, right, the energy points. And she opened the one in my head here, in my heart, and in the sexual organ area. And so first thing that happened was straight away, I noticed I had this really horrible feeling in my chest. Really like strong emotion. Like really like, think of like the worst sadness you could possibly
Like
think
a
of.
family member passing, that heartache.
Worse than that, yeah.
Okay.
Heartache, yeah, pretty much. But it wasn't just that. It was like a ball of it stuck in the back of my heart, like digestion area, where I felt like I had to burp all the time. I never had a digestion problem either.
Is this immediately after you?
Immediately.
Yeah.
I walked out and
Wow.
I was like this. So this stayed with me. And this was such a bad negative emotion. Second thing that happened.
Some refund I would have gone for.
Bro, too late.
Bro, wave your hands again, bro. Fix it, man.
Fix it.
Yeah. So I get kind of mixed up. So I'm going to put it really simply. So another thing that happened was I would go to bed and exactly 1 hour after falling asleep, this is straight away, just so you guys know, straight away, not a day, not 2, like straight away. So I'd go to sleep, right? And I would start having these attacks at night where something was stabbing me in the heart area,
Fuck that.
compressing my chest to the point where I couldn't breathe.
Almost like sleep paralysis.
Kind of, but I wasn't paralyzed. It was just something was stabbing me in the heart, constantly stabbing, like an electrical volt in my heart. Never happened before. Then I started getting these really like weird abnormal heart rhythms that I've never had before either. And so that was kind of what was happening there. This feeling, by the way, never left me. It was with me for months and months and months. I couldn't get it out. It was like I tried to vomit it out. It was like an emotion, but it was stuck. I then got diagnosed with a heart problem called atrial fibrillation, which only like over 60-year-olds
shit.
have. Yeah.
What's that?
It's where you have like abnormal heart rhythm.
Yeah, I think I've got that too.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
It's like a full-on
So rather than
diagnosis.
just going boom, boom,
No, so
boom,
like
boom.
I've had the point where like I'll just be sitting and kicking it, and then my heart rate's at like 110.
Right, okay.
Yeah, and then it'll just stop and it'll just
Right,
go
right,
very
right.
very slow.
Okay, interesting. Yeah.
I've got to fucking get it checked up anyway.
Yeah,
Continue.
man. I mean, yeah, for sure. But yeah, I got diagnosed with that out of nowhere. So that's what happened here, right? Secondly, what ended up happening was where she opened up my head, right? Started having all these, dude, like, without going into it, I will one day, but weird thoughts, bro. Dark, weird. Like, an example was I started fantasizing jumping off my balcony and killing myself.
Fuck.
Out of nowhere. I started fantasizing over this weird stuff, bro. Like, I've never thought this shit in my life. And, like, it's dark. Let me tell you that. And I was like, what is going on? This isn't me. What the hell
At this point, were you still sort of depressed and sad? Or like,
Oh, bro, this magnified everything.
Yeah,
Okay,
it
so
would have.
you-
I was
so
gonna
you
say,
were-
it's-
So you were in this state, you went to this lady to try and fix it, and she just fucking ruined your life.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yes.
I mean, when you say, like, I was in this state, you see, the person I am today knows that state was never normal because of how elevated I am right now. But that state I was in was quite common for normal people to be in, I think, that don't sort of know what I know now. So you could say I had some anxiety, depression my whole life, that sort of stuff. But this was uncharacteristic. Like, what happened after this session was just complete, like, magnified, something I never even had, right? So yeah, these things were happening. And then when I'd have a good thought, positive, right, I would feel this electrical charge come into my head and suppress it and try to make me think of these dark
that's
thoughts.
fucked up.
Listen to this part. This is the part this was one of the biggest parts of the whole thing, right? So I told you guys, I mentioned how she opened up head, heart, sexual organ. So I haven't gotten there yet, right? Without going into detail, all of a sudden, right, after this session, I started to feel extremely aroused like I've never felt in my entire life, bro. Like abnormal. And then I started thinking all these weird sexual thoughts out of nowhere. I was like, what the hell is this, right? And so I would start having these thoughts all day and just feeling so aroused all the time. And this was going for months. And so this is where I knew something was wrong. I would be driving, right? Or I'd be at the gym or doing some filming or whatever. And these thoughts would come into my head, right? And say I did one or two things. First thing is, I don't want this thought. Go away. Or second one would be, I don't have time for this thought because I'm busy. The moment I did that, do you know what happened? You know how I told you I was getting stabbed in the heart? Bro, I was getting stabbed and burnt in this sexual area. Something was punishing me for not having the thought.
Like actual genitalia area? Or like,
yes.
Okay,
so below the belly button, like the bladder area.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant like the actual area.
So I didn't even know this. You don't even think about this, where you get aroused, right? You don't even think about it. But at this point, I was like, okay, this is where it's all here.
Yeah.
But especially like the
pubic
like your
area?
waist. Yes, correct.
Yeah, the pubic bone area. Yeah.
So that's when I knew something was wrong, right? When I was literally getting attacked from thoughts. And when I'd have like normal thoughts, right, it attacked me as well. So say, for example, I was having these like dark, weird sexual thoughts in my head just come out of nowhere.
Was there a voice to it, or was it just like a thought?
Yeah, was it just like Jamie speaking?
Because you know how you have an inner voice.
Yeah. No, it was very like, it was foreign, but it was very deceptive.
But you knew it was foreign. That's the thing.
Oh yeah.
So you knew it wasn't you.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. So as much as I was confused, I knew this wasn't me. And so yeah, this was happening for a long time. Another thing that happened, I'm a right-hander.
No.
Yeah.
That's fucked up.
I became left-hand dominant.
So when you change your like dominance in terms of your hands and your feet, that's one sign of possession. And the other one is when you speak languages that you don't fucking know how to speak.
Correct, yes. And I'll get to that part.
Oh.
So all this was happening, bro. And I was a complete mess. I had no idea what was going on.
Dude, I feel for you. That would have been a really fucking shit time.
Yeah, and it's a lot worse than I just said, by the way. But I'll review that.
Yeah, I could imagine.
So I would, dude. Like the thing was, right, when you go online, you type in like I didn't know what a demon was, spiritual possession. I did not know what any of this spiritual stuff was. So I was going online like Reiki, dangers or something, or like not even dangers. Side effects. I was typing in like these keywords. Nothing. Zero. Oh, it's amazing for you. Like everyone has all these health benefits. It's incredible.
Yeah, Satan fucking.
And the worst part was, you discover who you truly are. I'm like, bro, you've just ruined my life. This isn't like, yeah, you know what I'm trying to say, right? So I was going to like, and I got to be careful not to go for, because this will end up into a 3-hour story. So I was going to every psychologist, therapist, you name it. I think I went to like 10, 15.
Kinesiology as well?
Yeah. Hypnotherapy.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Kinesiology, I didn't go there. But they all say the same thing. It's all in your head. You got OCD. I was like, bro, did I not just tell you I'm getting physically attacked? Well, we don't have any scientific evidence for this because it's invisible. Bro, Correct. So, long story short, I was going through this all last year. This is quite recent still. All last year. I then went to everyone under the sun, you name it. And this was all happening to me the whole time. The other thing that happened was I became very suicidal. And this was because of what I was going through, but also I was having suicidal fantasies going through my head. I lived on the 25th floor of my apartment in Melbourne for the whole time. And I was getting visions of myself jumping off. The other thing was I started to really enjoy tormenting my mum. I started to love it. I'd message her every morning, call her, Mom, I'm going to kill myself. You're going to have no son. Like, today's the end.
But did you know it was a joke? Or were you being serious? Because like,
I don't know.
Fuck.
But something in me wanted to do it to my mum every single morning. I'd wake up every single morning with this pain in my chest, right, that I told you about, after having nighttime attacks for like hours. And I'd have an instant tantrum when I'd wake up. That was another thing that happened to me. Every single morning, tantrum. Ironically speaking, looking back, I was actually screaming, right? And you don't want to see this shit. It's very like weird. But I was just screaming at the top of my lungs, punching stuff, breaking glass. But without even knowing, I was screaming, get this thing out of me. How weird is that? I only reflected on this after getting healed. So, dude, like a whole bunch of stuff was happening. So nothing was working. And I'll be honest with you, I made a pact with my mum, and I said, if I'm not healed by December, I'm killing myself. And because it was getting too much. Like, you don't understand the pain I was in, and nothing was helping. I was
So
just
this was last December?
This was, all last year, December. It was getting to the point where I was beyond hope. I was just getting used to hearing every professional tell me that they've never seen this before. And like, what was I going to do, right?
Is it like possible to go back to another Reiki and like get it?
I asked her to reverse it or to do something. And so I told her what was happening, this lady. She didn't want to have any responsibility.
Fucking piece
Zero.
of shit.
All she did was she said,
You signed the waiver.
literally, bro, all she did, she didn't even tell me anything. She just sent me, like, you know how you can send iMessage contacts or iPhone contact? She sent me a contact of a counselor. That's all she did. No responsibility.
You can't be Reiki and counseling are two different things, like just two different spectrums.
Yeah.
I guess from hearing that, like that's like I actually feel for you. Like
I can't lie.
No, that would have been like really, really fucked up to deal with and to get through. And yeah, it's, I guess now is like sort of, how did you get away from that? Like what happened? How did you get healed?
Yeah, great question. I'm glad you asked. So,
Can you imagine if we just left it at that? And it's just like, thanks, guys.
cliffhanger next episode. Smart marketing though.
Oh, bad.
So, yeah, look, as I was saying, the whole last year, and like we're talking recent, this happened March 30, 2021. And, you know, you could say I'm going to start, so March 30, 2021. Now we're at, say, maybe September, August last year. So I was getting to like the depth of making a decision that I was going to kill myself, like proper, because I couldn't take this anymore. And to even put into words how painful this was, like I can't even put it into words. So I had nothing to lose at the same time. So I was kind of trying everything. And my mum actually called me one day. She goes, hey, because she was onto it as well. She knew what I was going through. She was trying to find anything, any answers. She said, hey, have you ever, she goes, hey, I was actually, I was talking to a raw vegan baker. So random. Because I'm trying to get a birthday cake for your birthday. Sorry, this is September. That's right.
That had to have been Melbourne.
Definitely Melbourne.
Yeah, definitely Melbourne.
So you're vegan?
I'm not vegan though, but my mum is just very healthy and into all that sort of stuff.
As I said, that's why you were possessed, just because you were vegan.
Because I was vegan, yeah. Hey, maybe it contributed. So she goes, hey, so I was talking to this woman from the raw vegan cake shop, and I was telling her what you're going through, and she mentioned something called a negative entity. I was like, negative? What does that mean? She's like a spirit or something. I was like, spirit? I was like, I didn't know anything about it, right? I didn't believe in any of this stuff. She goes, well, we should investigate it. I'm like, okay, what do I have to lose, right? So then I went online and I type in, all right, sure. I type in negative entity, spiritual healing Melbourne or something. I was like, out of anything I was going through, this was the only thing that made sense.
Made sense, yeah.
Nothing else made sense.
When you've lost all hope, anything that makes sense is fucking gold.
Like, I've got nothing else to lose.
Nothing else to lose.
It can't get any fucking worse. I
That's right.
might as well fucking try.
This is life or death. Like, I'm going to kill myself or I'm going to try other things, right? So I found this top search. This man, should I mention his name? I won't mention his name. He's from Melbourne. Something, spiritual Indian healer, can heal black magic, curses, all that sort of stuff. I was like, cool. So I call this guy up. Hey, bro. Not bro.
Hey, buddy. Hey, buddy, how's it going?
Hey, yeah. Hello, master.
Bastard guy.
Busted guy.
Hey, what's good, my G?
He did not ask me for Bob's and Vagine, luckily.
That's good.
Number one bullshit guy.
Number one bullshit guy.
So I'm like, hey, listen, this is what's been happening to me. Can you help me? He's like, okay, send me a photo of yourself, your name and your birthday, and I'll do a spiritual reading on you and come back to you. I was like, sure.
How fuck's that? They just do it over photos. Like, that's
Do you call you back in a second and be like, holy shit?
Well, so a couple hours later, he calls me. He's like, hey, and my real name's James. He goes, James, I found something. I'm like, thank God. Oh, I didn't believe in God back then. I was like, thank the universe. I was like, thank the universe. He's like, you need to come see me ASAP. This is serious. I'm like, cool. And look, this is a long story. I'm just gonna cut to the chase. He ended up telling me he found a very strong demonic possession that was around me.
Bro,
And
straight
we-
up, it would have been that UDL that you drank. Fuck,
Can they
they had to be in there.
It might have been, bro.
from that?
They can linger your whole life.
Bro, I don't know what the fuck was in that can, but it was in that
I
UDL.
reckon it was the UDL's fault.
From that, can they say like what caused that possession, where it came from, like who sent it, like?
Yeah, look, so this as I said, this story is a very, very long story. But long story short, we ended up doing exorcisms. And basically, bro, and people, so I think I got scammed because he charged a lot of money, but I actually physically saw things with my own eyes. And I'm not talking he did some weird witchcraft and I saw it on him. No. Like I did something and I saw it on me. So we did exorcisms. Basically I was able to see like literal spirits with my own eyes. Things started burning on me. It was crazy. And then he basically said that to protect me for our next session, I needed to spend $20,000 on 200 grams of gold because the demons had that much of a stronghold on me that if we didn't protect my body with the 5 elements of the earth, gold, silver, bronze, iron, and copper, and gold, whatever else there is, I'd die during the next exorcism. So I paid this guy almost 20 grand for gold. We did the exorcism. Basically,
Please tell me you have it and you wear it every fucking day.
No. And we had to throw it in the ocean after as well.
Uncivilized.
I wish I could
Let's drop his name. People are gonna run to his house.
No, it's in Altona Beach, actually.
Cause you wanna go for a swim?
100%. We'll go straight after.
Go get a metal detector. Cause I'm going
After
for a
dinner,
swim,
guys.
bro. 20 grand, bro. I put on marketplace.
By the way, I wish I could have told you that story better because I'm quite good at storytelling when I tell this story. I like to cock tease a little bit. The climax, the points of,
But I'm gonna make 20 grand, bro.
The
I'm fucking G'd, bro.
But anyway, that's kind of what happened. And then anyway, that didn't work. And
It didn't?
It didn't work, no.
Oh my god.
And
So
so
this guy rorted you and you're not better yet. So
Nah.
you're still feeling all these pains, still feeling
Yeah,
fucked up. Okay.
yeah. And so anyway, then the attacks became worse at night actually. But the good thing was this guy, however much he scammed me for, made me realize that this was a spiritual possession.
100%.
Nothing else could explain it. So then I started typing in different keywords on Google and stuff. And I started typing in demonic oppression, demons, new age spirituality, Reiki. And bro, in the blink of an eye, I found what I was looking for. I found essentially what was happening to me. Like it was a full on demonic possession. I then found a Christian deliverance minister in Melbourne. And we conducted exorcisms and he freed me completely.
On you?
Wow.
So
And
what does that entail?
So exorcisms are kind of
Is it like the movies?
pretty close, yeah. So
Did you twist your neck like 360 and then vomit?
I didn't, but I was vomiting.
Really? Yeah, because I heard you
and
vomit.
that's it coming out, isn't it?
Yeah,
No, literally,
it
'cause
manifests, yeah.
yeah.
So basically so the thing is like in order to cast out demons, you need a very high ranking power. And you can't go above, Jesus, like as in Christian faith we believe, right? So through the power of the Holy Spirit, through Jesus, he was able to exercise his right of control to allow the demons to manifest out of me. And when he did this, it was crazy because I started saying things I didn't even know what they meant. So an example of this was during the exorcisms that we did. I was coughing, I was vomiting, I was sweating everywhere, I was like screaming, everything was happening, and I actually started talking in a very deep voice as well and saying things I didn't even know what they meant. A good example of this was he said, "What's your name?" And I'm just like, Jezebel.
Which is probably the name of the demon.
Does that ring any bells? You shook your head. No. I didn't know what I just said at the time, right? And I thought, Isabel. I used to date a girl called Isabel. Is that what I said? Next day, I was looking up, exorcisms on YouTube, and I watched this video, and this exorcist was talking about, how he delivered someone. It's called deliverance, exorcism, deliverance, same thing. He delivered someone, and he was talking, blah blah blah, Jezebel. Blah, blah. I was like, wait, Jezebel. That's what I said yesterday, but I don't know what it means, bro. I looked up on Google. One of the most high-ranking spirits in the Bible.
Fucking hell.
I didn't know what I just said
Holy
at the time,
shit.
but it's a legit spirit.
Like a demon spirit?
Yeah, demon spirit. So basically,
And the fact that you said it in a deep voice, it's like it's demonic. It's
Yeah.
that's
so my
fucked
pastor
up.
has voice recordings of.
I'm
the
actually not gonna.
exorcisms.
I'm gonna actually not fucking, because apparently, if you even fucking say the name a lot,
Yeah. So whatever we speak, the spiritual realm's hearing everything.
100%.
So how come how come my pastor can say certain words and then exercise control to manifest demons out of me? Like, it makes no sense. And I'm sitting there, right? And my body's going psycho. I have no control. Like, the first thing for me, my hands start shaking like this. And then I'm just like having a seizure in my seat, literally. And yeah, it's proper, bro.
Fuck,
and
that's crazy, man.
So yeah, I had to do a bunch of them, and dude, like, it just healed me. And then once you're delivered from the demonic oppression, so you've casted out all the entities, all the demons inside of you.
Shit.
Then you have to heal yourself. Are we all good?
Yeah.
Oh, like the mic cut or something. Probably Jezebel up there. And
I gotta leave, bro. I'm going home, man.
Fuck that.
But yeah, after deliverance, you have to heal now, because they leave deposits in you, so deposits of energy and that sort of stuff. So yeah, I then had to undergo healing, and I'm still doing that to this day. So I would say, because of the physical damage they did to my body, I'm still not 100%. And you know how I told you they were attacking me. So they were bro, when they were attacking me, I was in so much pain, physical pain. So I have still experienced a lot of that pain, and I'm not back to how I was before, but it's a process. So
yeah,
we're just doing healing.
How do you know when the healing's done?
I don't think it ever gets done.
Well, it's kind of hard to tangibly assess. It's kind of like you just know that
There's no metric system.
there's no
for, like,
metric.
how
There's
much-
no metric. But as long as you're fully functional and you're able to live your life without having these issues anymore, I think you're pretty good. And I'm very close to that. So that was a long story. Long, but not long.
Fuck,
So how has that changed your whole perspective in the sense of like what you do on social media?
Okay, so putting it as simply as I can, from me being aware of this demonic realm and this spiritual realm has made me directly correlate what happened to me towards what's happening with society. Because the way in which society has propagated us and programmed us to think a certain way, and everything that we're being told by above directly relates to the spiritual realm. And the way in which that will make sense to the average person listening is that you have to realize that, like, the spiritual realm is the foundation of life. So when someone can kind of like come into power, and with power comes a sense of evil and responsibility. But you hear it all the time. Hollywood celebrities selling their souls. Why is that? Okay, with such great power, almost becomes like a trade-off as well. So these celebrities at the very top of the stratosphere, they have the most influence, in society. Why are they promoting all this degeneracy? Degeneracy comes from an underlying foundation of satanic culture. So when you hear like rappers like Tyga or like Nicki Minaj, Cardi B,
All saying it.
yeah, propagating all this degeneracy, it comes from the spiritual realm, because they've also sold their soul, and now there's an agenda put upon society to influence us in this way. So
That term,
I'm not sure if that makes sense, but like,
no, it does.
simply speaking, the people that run this world, they're basically worshipping Satan, a lot of them.
And I think I agree. The term like selling your soul, do you think it's like genuinely a ritual that where they sell their soul?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
That's fucked.
So there's things called like blood sacrifice.
Yeah, because
human
I've heard of that.
sacrifice. And you see, the thing is, like, the other thing I see a lot in Hollywood is, why would they go to such an extent to mock Jesus and mock Christianity and mock God if it wasn't real? Like, it's not just art.
That's so true.
And if they're literally going out of their way to worship Satan and they're saying it in our faces, it's so obvious it's real. And from what I went through, I know that the demonic realm is real, and that's what Satan's whole agenda on this earth is for, is to destruct and destroy. So,
It's through music and cinema as well.
correct.
Yeah, like all the waves that they use through music,
Yeah, the frequency, right?
the frequency waves
Yeah.
affect how you behave. Like if you listen, like, and I'm an advocate for it too. Like if you listen to Pop Smoke or like all these rap artists, you're like, fuck, I want to go out there and fucking shoot people and fucking
right.
do all this shit, and I want to have all these hookers and shit, like all that shit. You know, It's like literal brainwashing.
It is, man. And it directly correlates as well to what the Bible says about the end times and about, Satan's rule over the earth. And yeah, man, I think just from me experiencing this spiritual realm firsthand, I know this is all real. So when, like, the next time Beyonce says, "Oh, I worship the devil," she does. And it's not a joke. Like, she does sacrifices, she does blood sacrifices, she does rituals. that invoke demons into her, which make her do these things. My pastor gives me a good example that he had a stripper come to him one time, and she goes, "Hey, I'm just feeling this and that, this and that," and he did a spiritual assessment on her, and yeah, she had, some sort of demonic oppression, and he goes, "Look, I'm just warning you that once we cast these things out, you won't want to strip anymore, and you won't even have the talent for it because you're being run by an external force."
Yeah.
She goes, "Oh, but it's my income, but I still want to strip." And he's like, "You have to make the choice. Are you going to follow the light or the darkness? You can't be in between." And she underwent the deliverance process, and yeah, lo and behold, she can't strip anymore. Like her talent left her because
It's
the
all
devil's
energy.
prideful.
Symbolism.
It's
as
all
well.
it's all energy though too.
Correct.
Like,
Correct.
even if you like, there's also the thing of like where you've lost your soul, and even if it's like you just lose so much energy of yourself putting it towards other things, like you lose the energy, like you're essentially also
That's
losing
right.
your soul in that sense too.
Yeah, and I said this exact same thing on the previous podcast. Whatever way you put it,
Yeah.
physical level, spiritual level. Okay, let's put it this way. Alcohol. All right, let's put it very for dummies, right? Alcohol makes me feel bad and hungover the next day. Okay, on the spiritual level, alcohol opens a door for the demonic realm to have access into your life because you've opened the door of an entry point.
Yeah.
So like any level you talk about it on, you mentioned sex, right? Like soul ties are real. Like there's a reason that you really start emotionally being invested in someone. As guys, I know it's a little bit different sometimes, but there's a deep connection. And sex is so powerful, bro. If you think about it this way, how come I can just have sex with someone and create a whole new life? Didn't just come from the Big Bang. How come we're created so perfectly? We have like eyes to see, mouths to eat, to fuel our bodies, ears to hear, hands to do what exactly. We can't just in the click of a finger just be put here by random coincidence, right?
No.
So the spiritual realm is real. That's what I'll say.
Everything happens for a reason too, I believe.
Holy
Have
shit.
you heard of ayahuasca?
I have. I've heard of it. Yeah.
That's fucked up.
Yeah, I've done mushrooms before. I don't touch that anymore.
No, so ayahuasca is actually like it is it's a psychedelic type drug, but it's something that you take because it's also a lot of people that I've spoken to, it's a massive trip, but like very soul orientated.
Yeah, I'm not sure what I think about all these psychedelics now that I've got this different viewpoint.
It's a massive thing that's happening now where a lot of people are
Yeah.
going on psychedelics to sort of get in touch with their soul and
I've
everything
heard.
like that, and the deep.
The only problem is it's like when you do dabble with those things, you see, the thing is like when you don't gain spiritual insight and healing from a pure source like God or the Holy Spirit, when you get it from other places, as you said, like you learn about yourself, but you don't know if it's really you.
That's very true.
Because that's a full-on open portal for a demonic entity to influence you in that way. So when you're in a trip, oh, I didn't know this about myself, it's probably not you.
Yeah, 100%.
And I'm not saying in all cases, but this is the dangers with New Age spirituality, because you're opening doors to entities of a source which is unknown. So this Reiki woman, what she did, she didn't connect to God or the Holy Spirit. She connected to Reiki angels. And who are they? She gave authority, and I gave her authority and them authority by paying her money to invoke spiritual healing on me. But
Yeah,
I'm just saying there's dark forces out there that can
100%.
infiltrate.
100%, of course, man.
it's just fucked.
You gotta be careful.
Fuck.
It is cooked.
Yeah.
That was sick. That was a really good chat. Like I fucking, even just like on a much more light note and just like on a general level, like I've just been woken up so much to so many things.
What's sort of before we wrap up, what's Jamie's future looking like?
What's the Jamie Zhu future? What's the next step? You said, are we allowed to talk about this?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So
yeah.
obviously you said you wanted to start your own podcast. That's coming soon. What's
This bloke, are we allowed to talk about?
yeah, but we can cut that out. You know, they can't see me yet.
Very visually appealing, very clickbait.
Yeah, are you thinking like again? It's funny about like this sort of stuff. What are you sort of thinking there?
So yeah, good question, man. So like from a very young age, I've always known that I have a very big purpose in this world. And I knew that from my comedy videos, this was providing me a platform and a stepping stone for something greater. And so what I went through last year didn't happen for no reason. Like I feel like God, chose me to really shed the light on what I know now and ultimately help so many other people in the process. So I think that a lot of what I went through was shown to me for me to share with others because, dude, like when I tell you, like, all the things I suffered from, and I didn't mention this, by the way, all the things I suffered from before, the majority, all the anxiety, all the depression, everything, I no longer have that at all, because I was delivered from certain spirits that were making me this way. So there's a spirit for everything. And without over spiritualizing everything, mental health is a real thing. I understand that chemical imbalances are genes, DNA, family history. But when I tell you all the problems I used to have, I don't have anymore in the click of a finger, because I was delivered from these demonic spirits. This to me is almost like a key that I hold, that I want to share to the world and give to others that need it. You know what I mean?
God wouldn't put you in situations that he knows that you wouldn't be able to handle as well.
That's right.
Yeah.
And so having this experience and knowledge, this is now my purpose, to share the light. And I'll be honest, like in sharing the light, I will most likely be cancelled. I'll most likely be deplatformed potentially. So I'm willing to put it all on the line for this, because what I'm going to say is going to be controversial, but it's going to be the truth. And you know how much people hate the truth.
Fucking oath.
And
Andrew Tate's a prime example.
I was about to mention Andrew Tate. And Andrew Tate, he changed my life for the better, straight out. I don't agree with everything he says, but that guy has sparked something in me with my masculinity that was untapped before. And my life has been improved because of what he preaches.
Definitely.
It's like a male genetic. It's like we only understand, but others don't.
Yep.
And yeah, we're not advocating everything he says.
No, we're not.
No, not at all.
But
we're not.
putting it plain and simply, he's helped guys a lot.
Yeah.
Straight out.
I agree.
And I respect you for even having the balls to say that in public. And
no, 100%. I agree. I make people know, again, not agreeing with everything that he says, but he is even like, he sparks. Like, that's what he does. He creates that spark in your head. It's like, oh, fuck, you know.
Give you that fire to fucking move forward.
Because of you know, what he kind of preaches about, especially handling your emotions, bro, that has changed my life for the better. Now I'm not an emotional guy anymore. I can handle myself. Just because I wake up sad one day, I still do things. Like, I don't justify me feeling a certain way to not, partake in commitments I have. Or what if I'm a dad one day? Oh, I feel sad one morning. I don't want to take my kid to school. I don't want to feed him. Like,
yep.
He's really like building us into true men of stoicism.
Yeah, but there's a whole movement that has been on social media recently about just a whole movement in the world where you should feel, it should.
Toxic masculinity.
Yeah,
bro.
you should feel.
Don't get me started.
Oh,
yeah,
that's another fucking episode.
That's a whole episode in itself.
We'll go to Sydney next time. We'll have a chat.
But yeah, like, look, this sort of stuff, right? I'm going to be preaching. So that is why, from seeing what happened to him, not that I'm anything compared to him, straight up, but the message will be
similar.
Some facets will be similar. So, and I know how much the top hate that, because they're trying to weaken us. And the moment that you get the men that actually, harness their power that we've been given from God, bro, like, we're unstoppable. So they don't want that. They want us to sleep. That's why porn's out there.
Even literally on the last episode, we brought up, like, how many genders is there?
Bro,
there's two.
There's two genders. I'm sorry to say
shit like that. And again, it's like, this is the shit that they just don't want us to think and just want us to forget about, and transgenders and marrying your toaster and shit like that.
When you can convince society that a man is not a man and a woman can be a man but isn't, we're fucked. If you can convince this bloke down the road he's a panda and he believes it, and you get cancelled because you don't think he's a panda, bro, we gone.
There's a girl married at a train station. Not even going to fucking talk about that.
Yeah, saw that.
Have you said that? What the fuck?
Like, come on, man. Well, it's fucked up.
What the actual fuck?
And just to make it clear, I respect everyone and their choices, but the problem is
it's being preached upon us.
The system programming us and also our kids to believe this narrative.
Because I want to get angry. Can we
That's
stop?
Yeah,
we'll stop. Let's stop.
Let's stop right there.
But
we love everyone. Peace and love and happiness.
Peace, love, happiness.
Last thing I wanted to say before we wrap up is, you said everything happens for a reason, and it could be that the reason that you went through that is because, for example, I just thought this, like, you were an atheist, and it's like, that happened to you, so you could find God.
Correct.
And it's like, we don't know what the reason, but that it just could be one of them.
And then that's leading you to do your journey now, which could save fucking hundreds of thousands of lives.
100%. Like, man, like, God is real.
100%.
Like from being an atheist, I now know how wrong I was and
Allah
how.
Akbar.
Yeah.
No,
are you Muslim?
Let's just say that.
No, bro, fair. I respect. God in itself, right?
It.
Whatever you want to call God. And because without faith and religion, you have no purpose. What are you living for? Seriously, like, what are you living for?
I had a whole thing sort of to touch on the afterlife, but I think that's the thing. Like,
which one?
Your take on the afterlife. People.
That's a hard one, yeah.
I just don't get people who will sit there and say it's just black. Like, how can you expect it to be just
Something
darkness?
happens, man.
There has to be something.
So I'm Christian now, and the way I live is like pretty according to the Bible now, and that's changed my life for the better. I was living the opposite. When Christians talk about heaven and hell, the thing that really convinces me is when I watch testimonies of people that have died and have been atheist or whatever, and they've seen God and they've seen hell. It's like, is that just a mushroom trip, or is that really like God's given them a gift to share this, that it's real? Look,
Yeah.
I respect everyone's opinions, but for me, yeah, I mean, there has to be something, right?
Has to be something.
Alrighty.
Yeah.
Jamie, how would you like to wrap this up? What would you like to say?
Surprise.
Surprise.
I mean, look, like, yeah.
Shout out, bro. Shout out to
let's shout out that kid. Where's that kid?
All the kids.
shout out the kid, and shout out to that fucking vegan.
Vegan
Girl
baker.
fucking working at the bakery, bro.
And fuck that Indian bloke that rewarded you for 20 grand. I'm going to go buy a metal detector. I'm going to the fucking Altona
We'll
Beach.
go now. We'll go thirds, yeah.
And there was one other person. And that fucking lady that fucking waved their hand around your stomach.
Oh, look.
Did you actually did you ever go back to her, hey, you actually fucked me up?
So
I would have lost my shit.
yeah, bro. As I said, bro, she didn't want to take any responsibility. I even told her I was going to kill myself, and she just linked to me that counselor again. So, look, these people, they
Just make sure you pay.
Just make sure you pay, yeah. I mean, look, how about this? No names for today, but, you know, God sees everything.
100%.
That's what I say. That's why I don't do bad things anymore.
God is great. Peace and love.
That's right.
Thank you very much, Jamie. That was a fucking sick chat. Like,
No worries.
my mind's just gone ballistic at the moment. For those of you, I'm sure everyone is already, but if you're not, follow Jamie Zhu on Instagram, TikTok, all platforms. Make him some money on YouTube. And we'll see you guys on the next episode. Take care, guys.